time.
Primetime.
Primetime. That's the name.
Primetime.
Primetime.
What time is it? Showtime primetime.
It's XL Primetime, featuring Joe C.
I'm having nightmares right now.
Matt Hayes.
Big asses, big thighs, yeah.
And Leon Searcy.
Bed Bath & Beyond. Nothing says football like scented soap.
How you like me now? How you like me
We are amongst the pine trees, the beautiful nature that surrounds the stadium course at TPC Sawgrass, the bear hug of beauty under the oaks when you talk about the settings here at the Players Championship. The stadium course, we welcome you to XL Primetime as we are fired up and ready to go. As a matter of fact, we are right outside of the setup for Trucks on 10, and I can promise you they got the trucks ready to serve, and my Michelob Ultra folks, the Cutwater Spirits folks, they are all ready to go. Now, Big Surf was just chauffeured to one of the restrooms near Trucks on 10. I'm just going to tell
First
you
off,
guys,
he's a big deal, okay?
I'm just going to
So
tell
he
you guys.
gets chauffeured wherever he wants to go.
Yeah.
That's number one, right?
Big Surf's got chauffeured. Are you doing all right?
Wait,
Big?
there's a better story to this. Go ahead, sir. Tell your story.
Well, I'm going to wait till
Yeah.
get my mic crunked up a little bit. Hey, there we go. All right.
There you go.
All right, so, I had to go use the bathroom.
Uh-huh.
Matt Hayes is walking around the corner, so I'm following Matt. Guy picks me up, drops me over there. He says, I say, come use the bathroom. He said, do you have the credential for it? I said, credential?
What?
The credential to use the bathroom? He said, your numbers have to match up with this particular bathroom to use it. And I looked at my numbers, I was like, apparently I'm not matched up credential-wise to where I need to go pee. So he said, you can go pee up the street. And I said, and then I turned around and I saw the porta potties and I saw Matt come. I said,
Yeah.
okay, there we go.
Yeah.
But I didn't know.
Oh, my gosh.
I didn't know you needed credentials.
We
All right,
might
well,
have to get Lee Smith on the case.
God,
That is
we got-
complete disrespect, man.
we got to make sure we help.
How do you make Surf like?
It's for the players, though. He said that it's for the players'
Yes,
families.
so you're a
that-
player.
Did you
So they had to-
properly
they needed
reply,
to-
I'm a player?
Well, no, I didn't. I didn't. You know, I don't want to.
I know. You're one of the most
Yeah, I don't want
polite
to.
guys.
I don't want to start any fires. I just politely turned around and said, I saw the bathrooms, porta potties. I said, well, I guess I'll go use
Yep,
them.
there we go. And by the way, these are the nicest porta potties you will
They
ever
are.
see.
They are.
That's for sure. All right, so we welcome you to XLP. We are certainly stoked to be here the entire week. We will try and fill up the airwaves with everything that's going on here, and then, of course, everything that's going on in your free agency world. The Jaguars not nearly as active as other teams as you might expect, just because of the way things currently are sitting. But we got to get into all of that today. But let's just at least tell you, Trucks on 10, if you are out and about, you're coming out later for the Ludacris concert, Military Appreciation Day. They will have the ceremony and celebration all starting later this afternoon. We would love for you guys to drop on by our white tent just outside of the blue fencing that they have set up around Trucks on 10. So you'll see us if you're strolling up from 10 T-Box up to 10 Green. And just inside there, like we said, Michelob Ultra, Cutwater Spirits, they are also set up sampling. And they got the Cutwater rooftop bar. Did you guys see that? Up above the bar where you can get out there and you can see them hitting into 12, which also is going to be, I would think, a go-to place. All right, so here's the other important thing. JJ is back from Italy, okay?
Yeah.
I am.
What about that?
I am here.
All right, my
Nice.
brother.
Welcome
How was
back.
Nice. No jet lag. You good?
No, it was, but it was. I think it'll probably hit me later tonight. But yeah, yesterday is one of those like full 24-hour without sleeping unless you're on a plane type things. Like you're in Italy, then you're in Amsterdam, and then you're in Boston, and then you're in Jacksonville. It was. Getting back was a long day, but an absolute great trip. And you wouldn't believe what I heard immediately on getting back onto Jacksonville soil. The second I got into the little shuttle from USA Park, whatever.
They're rolling 10-10 on
Yes,
the
the guy listening, I hear Rick Ballou over the airwaves. So shout out to them for supporting Big 1010.
Yeah, they do. USA Park, they definitely love them, some 1010 XL. All right, so let's at least get to the big pieces of news. And we all knew this was happening. This wasn't shock and awe. This wasn't utter disappointment because you held out hope. Maybe some of you did, but it just wasn't realistic. It didn't seem to be in an off season where they could sign their stars and bring them back. 2 stars, arguably as big as any other big on the defensive side of the football and the offensive side of the football. Both Travis Etienne and Devin Lloyd out the door.
Yeah, what was the big surprise? That let those 2 guys go, then franchise tag, then transition tag either one of them, and let them go into free agency. The numbers that they got wasn't surprising at all either. I think Etienne got what he get, 13 per year.
Well, it's a little less than that, but still $12.5 million.
$12.5 million a year.
That surprised me actually a little bit.
And Devin Lloyd got what, 16?
15.
15, 16 right there. Well, I mean, the Jaguars decided that was just too rich for them, and that they could probably find somebody else that.
So I look at it this way: they could have afforded one of them. They could have found a way to afford one of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which one would you want? Which one you would?
It just looks like they didn't want either one of them.
And that's fine.
Not they didn't want them. I shouldn't say they didn't want them. They were the priority was elsewhere. It's probably the best way to say that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that they didn't want them. They couldn't afford them. Could have afforded one, but the priority is elsewhere. And maybe the priority is we're going to try and get an impact edge, or we're going to try and do something to help our defense, an impact interior guy.
Mm-hmm. Well, what we said, what was the point of emphasis? What was more important to the team, a running back, a linebacker, or to get an edge guy? So getting an edge guy, you think they're going to go after an edge guy in free agency or in the draft?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
D-tackle,
how do you not look at what happened last year and think, okay, we've got to get better on the edge?
Yeah. Well, the last game was revealing. The fact that we couldn't get Josh Allen off the field.
Right. You've got 2 undrafted free agents that were basically your top backups. Not that there's anything wrong with that, because sometimes those guys pan out, obviously. I'm just saying you need a guy that can step on the field and immediately become, okay, we got to watch him. We got to account for him. You know what I mean? And I don't know that they have that right now.
Well, how many game changers on defense?
I think you have guys that can pressure the quarterback, but I don't know about
Well, we paid one like you're supposed to be one.
It's the old Seinfeld skit. Anybody can take a reservation, or anybody can hold a car. I mean, anybody can pressure a quarterback. Can you bring him down?
Yeah.
Can you force a negative play? Can you make it 2nd and 19? Can you strip a ball and force a turnover? That's what I think they're lacking on the defensive side of the ball. An absolute playmaker. And quite frankly, that's kind of what Devin Lloyd was last year.
Well, here's the way I look at it. I don't think there's any way to get away from this. Both had their best year in Jaguar uniforms. That's number one. And then number 2, their best year represented 13 times into the end zone, 13 trips into the end zone. All right.
Yeah.
And then 5 interceptions on the other side of the ball. And so when you think about all of that, you cannot ignore what they bring to the table on both sides of the ball. And so, everyone's going to sit there and go, what the heck, man? I can't believe we said goodbye to 0 and goodbye to 1 with the seasons that they had. Well, past leadership spent them to the hilt, where they couldn't recover from it.
Right.
And at the very least, they were able to get a few restructures. And you may have rather seen one guy walk and another guy stay. I totally get all of that. No problem with that opinion. You guys hit us on the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures at 641-1010 or in the YouTube chat. But the ability to identify with the next group of stars coming up that can play those positions well, Leon, that's ultimately what they're asking their scouting department, their front office people, and then obviously when they get them on the grass, for their coaches to fill those spots.
It was almost the fact that Devin Lloyd and Etienne had their best years with them was almost a slight on their performance, because if they had any kind of success before they got there, because it's easy for them to say, hey, listen, we put you in the best possible position with our coaching staff and our system to where you excelled. Right. And they could say to themselves, if we can do this for you, we can do this for anybody.
Right.
So that's a little bit concerning to me, to be quite honest with you, because they're basically saying system. We put you in the right system to have success.
Yeah, exactly. It really is.
That's treading on deadly water right there.
But to be fair,
it's true.
To be fair, we saw what he was like his first.
We did.
3 years here, 4 years here, right?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
he was a Casper half the time.
Yeah, And
he wasn't even a guy. He was maybe even less than a guy.
That was the 4th year. They did not pick up the 5th
Right,
year
fifth
option.
year, right. So that was the 4th year.
And so it's like I told Mac Attack up there in Carolina, one of our dudes that we get on whenever the Panthers and the Jags, the big cats are going against each other. And I said, look, the best way I can describe Devin Lloyd this year is he played angry and hungry.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a good way to describe it?
Yeah.
Angry and hungry. Angry because they didn't pick up the 5th year option. And hungry because he knew he was going to get him another contract. And, and he had to believe in his heart of hearts that if he had a kick-ass season, then he could pick a spot. He didn't have to be locked in to one place.
Yeah.
And that's how it went down. All right. So you guys chime in 641-1010. Will there be any more news from the Jaguars' point of view? Let's get into all the other stuff that happened in the free agency world. But we definitely want you to come on out. If you're out here, walk by 10T, look to your right. You'll see our white tent, 1010XL with the sign up above, and then the trucks on 10 setup where you can come in. Michelob Ultra and Cutwater. Both of them will take care of you with free sampling, and they got their rooftop bar, so make sure you drop on by and check out everything that they've got to offer. As a matter of fact, we will give you a chance to get the Ultra hookup, and that's to get into the deck before this week is done. So if you're listening for that, it is XL Primetime on a beautiful Ultra Tuesday.
XL Primetime is driven by Duval Ford. It's more than great drives, stellar shots, and perfect putts. 1010XL is your radio home for the Players' Championship with live Southeast Orthopedic Specialist leaderboard updates. Teed up by
Dynamic Drives and Designs
Wingstop
and North Florida Medical Centers.
I used to dread going to the dentist. Every visit felt like a sales pitch with constant upselling, surprise fees on my bill, and I could never get in when I needed to. But Harbor Dental Care? Totally different. They saw me the next day, gave me honest pricing up front, and even set me up with a payment plan I could actually afford. No pressure, no surprise charges, just kind people who get it. If you want to experience dentistry the way it should be, book your appointment today at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
Find the middle of the fairway with your drives. Get the golf tips and talk to keep you straight.
That's a great tee shot.
On the Edwin Watts Golf Hour.
The Edwin Watts Golf Hour.
Saturday morning at 10 on 1010XL.
If you're thinking about getting a new roof sometime this year, Endless Summer Roofing can help. I'm Claudia, owner of Endless Summer Roofing. Stronger materials, expert installation, real peace of mind. A new roof isn't just an upgrade. It's the primary source of protection for your family home. Visit EndlessSummerRoofing.com for a free inspection today, and I'll make sure you're ready for tomorrow. Endless Summer Roofing. Protecting your home from Florida's endless summers.
I want total control of my team.
The off-season is the time to check under the hood and add replacement parts.
I want to be able to recruit anybody that I want. No interference.
Follow the road to the regular season with AA Automotive and 1010XL.
Be the first to discover the best new home community in beautiful Green Cove Springs. Highland Trail, where the rhythm of life slows down. Enjoy green spaces, luxury pools, pickleball courts, winding trails, and more at livehighlandtrail.com. Choose from 3 premium builders, just starting in the 300s.
Oh, at Highland Trail. I'm Frank Frangie. Life-changing is an understatement for the 180 I've seen with my daughter Amber. She's now lost over 100 pounds with Awaken 180 in just 9 months. A true 180. Not just on the scale either, in her energy, her confidence, the way she lives. And what I love about Awaken 180 is we knew it would work. It wasn't a hope. It wasn't a guess that maybe it'll work. Amber started the programming knowing this was going to be her solution. Now, you've heard stories from our hosts and clients and probably people you know personally who've reclaimed their life thanks to Awaken 180. It works for the person who needs to lose 25 pounds. It worked for Matt Hayes, who wanted to lose 40. It worked for Hacker, who's lost more than 120 pounds. And it's worked for Amber, who's well over 100. That's why I believe in it. Whatever your scale number is, call the number that will work for you. 844-346-1800 or online at awaken180weightloss.com. Once again, that number is 844-346-1800 or you can reach them online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Some auto shops call it an inspection and flag any little thing. That's called a wallet flush. At AA Automotive, they don't play that game. They fix only what needs fixing. AA Automotive on Richard Street. Boring name, awesome service, and no wallet flush.
All right, Jack, so let's talk about it. Spring cleaning feels great until your drains remind you what they've been holding on to all winter. If your sink's burping, your shower's backing up, or your toilet's hesitating like it's reading a blitz, it's time to call in the pros. Call Duck Duck Rooter. During their spring drain cleaning promotion, get your drains cleaned plus a free camera inspection for just $129. Must have outside clean out, honest pricing, proven experience, no fourth quarter surprises. When you're stuck, call the Duck. That's 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
This is the home of the Florida Gators. Get your Gators hoops on 1010XL. Brought to you by the personal injury attorneys of Farah and Farah, Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville, and Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors.
Hi, this is Dr. George Bari, an orthopedic surgeon who is fellowship trained in sports medicine. If you are a young athlete or a weekend warrior, I treat you with the care and expertise that is needed to diagnose and treat your injury. Come see me at Bari Orthopedics to get the care that you need.
Be sure and check out the expertise from Dr. George Bari and the entire staff at BariOrthopedics.com. That's BAHRI Orthopedics.com. And follow Doc on Instagram at Dr.GeorgeBari.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Here comes the judge.
Order in the court.
I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
All right, we love it when it's time to put together a round of judgments right here on XL Primetime. And we're going to at least judge who we think did the best job. With the Jaguars sitting on the sidelines with all the free agent money that was spent yesterday, we say thanks to our buddy Chris Campione, Campione Law. They are champions for justice, and if you need them when you find yourself in front of the judge, you need to count on a local team of attorneys that definitely can help you in any way, shape, or form. Personal injury and beyond, make sure you check out CampioneLaw.com. Offices in Duval and the St. Augustine location, which is brand new. Are you ready for this, guys?
Let's do it.
The NFL teams yesterday, you'd have to include Jacksonville in this conversation because they did re-sign Buster Brown for $30 million, but NFL teams handed out more than $2.2 billion in contracts yesterday.
Yow.
Now, Matt was doing the math.
It was right at $1 billion after 4 hours yesterday.
Yeah. So after 4 hours yesterday, we said, okay, it went over 800 million, approaching 900 million as we were going off the air. Etienne gets his deal. Devin Lloyd, of course, got his deal. So anyway, a total of $2.2 billion. Who won in your mind yesterday, Big Sirs? You got Vegas, who spent a ton of money, including making Tyler Linderbaum the most expensive center in the National Football League. Are you ready for this? They dropped $281 million yesterday.
That's a lot of cheddar, a lot of cash. If I say who won yesterday or who won complete, not necessarily yesterday, but I still think I'm a little appalled that the Ravens still got Max Crosby.
Yeah, you know what? That was,
and they've had issues defensively for the last couple of years, right? Not being able to set the edge and get guys off the field. Especially in the fourth quarter, not being able to close games down in the fourth quarter. I mean, the Ravens are ultra conservative usually, but they took a grandstand when they went and dealt two guys to go get Max Crosby because they're looking at Lamar Jackson in the next couple of years. We're going to have to redo his deal, and that might clog up a lot of money. So I think the Ravens overall, despite what all everybody's been doing, I think that they pushed themselves right back in contention by going after and get somebody that can disrupt it.
If you're naming the biggest,
I have to go there.
Right, the biggest player that moved teams, Max probably would be that guy.
Yeah.
So you're saying the Raiders are your winner?
No, the Ravens.
Ravens. Okay, Ravens because of Max Crosby.
Because of Max Crosby.
All right.
Yes.
I mean, I don't disagree with that. I would say the biggest winner is Jalen Phillips. 28 career sacks and a $120 million deal.
Well, you're saying individually he won, but we're talking about the team that won.
He won going away individually.
Yes, absolutely, he won
going away.
4 years. Well, how many years has he been in the league? 6 years?
5 years.
5 years. He got 28 sacks. You're talking about 5 per, and got that kind of bread. That's pretty good, bro.
He's in the top.
Don't hate the player, hate the game, bro. It ain't his fault.
He's in the top 5 now of pass rushers, paid pass rushers.
Yeah.
When you start looking at the numbers, it makes you crazy. It really
didn't
does.
we want him?
And more power to him, man.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't care. I don't care about. I'm glad the players are getting as much money when they can, right? Because once you get hurt,
Bro,
Or once your career turns a little bit,
once you hit
they
30,
don't care
bro.
about you, man.
Listen, 30 is the heel drop. Okay, so you got to make all your money before you turn 30.
Not only that, you get out of the league, they'll fight you for everything. They'll fight you for every single penny, man.
Trust me, I know.
They force you to stay retired longer to earn more money on your pension, right?
Yeah.
They do all kind of stuff. They refuse medical stuff. I mean, look, get your money while you can, man, because these guys are in it for a business. It's a business to them.
Absolutely.
It should be a
yes.
business for players, too.
Well, it's funny because I'm just going to throw the numbers from the Raiders' point of view with this. And this is, again, another kind of crazy, if you're there at the right time. Is Quay Walker worth 3 years, $40.5 million? Maybe, maybe not. Is Nakobe Dean worth 3 years, $36 million? Is Kwity Paye worth 3 for $48? Jalen Naylor, the wide receiver, 3 for $35 million.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the big whopper, $81 million for Tyler Lindenbaugh.
I think the first 3 of those 4, actually, I think are worthy. I think the 2 Georgia linebackers are both really good players.
They're
young.
They are.
And they're young. And Lindebaugh's the best center in the league.
Yeah. Kwity Paye, uneven.
He's all right.
Yeah. Naylor, uneven. Stokes, 3 years, $30 million. That's 10 per for a cornerback, which is 1/3 of what Trent McDuffie got. So that still is not a bad deal. By the way, Greg Newsome goes up to New York, and he gets $10 million per season. So, all right. So when you're thinking about that, honestly, we're going to find out whether or not these guys get into a position where they can turn a bad Raiders team, particularly on one side of the football, knowing they're going to draft Fernando as their number 1 overall pick. And are they going to get better? All right, so some more judgments when you're taking a look at what the other guys did. Who will have, in your judgment, a better career? Travis Etienne, I'm saying career going forward. Travis Etienne in a Saints uniform or Devin Lloyd in a Panthers uniform, in your judgment, Big? Not easy.
No, it's not easy. Not easy at all.
Actually.
It is a great question, absolutely. Now, I have to go on. I mean, listen, Travis Etienne had a banner year last year. I mean, you're talking about 13 touchdowns, a lot of touchdowns, receiving and running. I'm going to say Travis. I'm going to say Etienne.
Okay.
I'm going to say he's motivated. Listen, I've been in that position. There's nothing more motivated for you than when your former team lets you go and you sign with another team to prove that you're all the goods when they didn't think you were. So I think Etienne's going to probably have a little chip on his shoulder. I mean, he's not going to be thinking about Jacksonville, of course not, but, Jacksonville let him go because they felt like that their system is, when applied by Etienne, is the reason why he had all this success. So you want to prove that you're not a system player, that you can go anywhere and have success. So if I'm Travis Etienne, I'm motivated by the fact that I'm going to another system and going to have the same success that I had Jackson.
So I think if we're talking about the immediacy, I agree with Sturz. I think Etienne's the winner in the immediacy. But if you're talking about long term, 3, 4, 5 years, I think the position itself lends to Devin Lloyd,
to the linebacker,
because Etienne's just going to wear down.
Right, he's going to play.
He's going to wear down.
Play longer.
Yeah. I mean, if Devin Lloyd plays at that level, for all we know, he'll go back to the guy to play the way he played the first 3 years.
True.
Right? For all we know, it's actually Campanile and his scheme that put him in position to actually make plays. He made the plays.
Right.
He's a very talented, second-team All-Pro player.
He still picked off 5 balls, took 1 for 99, and beat Mahomes.
Yes,
and
you
all.
cannot ignore that.
And trust me, the Campanile argument was I'm a legend.
I'm sure it was.
I'm sure they, in the negotiations,
yeah, of course,
they were saying, hey, listen, we saw how how protected you were 4 years before we came along, and all of a sudden we came along, you're having this success.
Right.
I'm sure that was used in.
But to
you want to leave this paradise?
Yes, but to Lloyd's defense, it wasn't just the interceptions. He became an elite run stuffer. He was a guy on that defense, the only guy really, who you could see when he ran, see ball, get ball.
Yeah. Now,
how many other guys in that defense were see ball, get ball?
Yeah, Foyer's still a tackling machine, even though
he was, but a lot of that stuff is funneled to him, man.
And the one good thing to your argument is that he graded, and you can take PFF for whatever it's worth, but he graded among the top 5 in run stuffing, blitzing the passer, and dropping in coverage. And that's all.
And closing speed.
That's all pretty good stuff from a linebacker's point of view.
He's what I think they believe they had when they traded up to go in the first round to get him this past year.
All right, let's see if we can do a couple more. And this is kind of in the same vein. We just did 2 Jags. Now let's do 2 quarterbacks. One got cut loose by the Miami Dolphins. The other one got reeled in by the Miami Dolphins. Tua goes to Atlanta, okay, he's got an opportunity just to kind of have a fresh start to his career. He's on the books financially. Miami's on the hook for that, but he doesn't have to really worry too much. But he's going to be given an opportunity, you would think, because you don't know how serious the Michael Penix injury is. But he goes to Atlanta. Malik Willis, meanwhile, gets a 3-year, $67.5 million deal. Which of those two cats, in your judgment, has a better year and beyond?
Well, I'm going to say if Tua starts, which the offense Stefanski's going to be running, with the weapons that he's, well, first of all, the number one weapon he has is Bijan.
Yeah.
Okay, you got Bijan, and you got the wide receiver Drake.
Oh, yeah. Well, right now, Kyle Pitts was tagged, and you've got, I know who you're talking about, Drake London.
Drake London. Yeah. I mean, how can you not have that kind of success with all those type of weapons? Now, protection-wise, you got the Atlanta Falcons put together a similar offensive line, but with all the weapons he's going to have at Atlanta, you would think, they're draining the pool in Miami. All those guys are Waller once out. Tyreek Hill is gone. I mean, you would think that Tua going to Atlanta, if he wins the starting job, would have more success. I would think, personally.
Yeah, I think Atlanta's just a better situation because I think the Atlanta defense is pretty good too. So I think it's just a better situation. If he can become a guy who can protect the ball and not account for so many turnovers, not just interceptions, fumbles too,
right,
and stay healthy. That's a lot to ask. Eliminate turnovers, stay healthy for a guy that's basically been his MO with the Dolphins. If he can eliminate turnovers and stay healthy, I think he's got a chance. That's a winnable division, man. 100% it is.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. And I think, but I like the idea of what Big is saying is that there are weapons that you walk into the ATL and you've got a running back who can catch the heck out of it coming out of the backfield.
And you got a tight end that they just re-upped.
Right, tight end
and player.
A big target in Drake London that they were feeding the football to. At the very least, Penix and Cousins were having success with him. I'm just curious as to what it does look like weapons-wise down in Miami. Not nearly as good, that's for sure. All right, so I'm out last night, Sunset Grill with the son-in-law. And this guy, this young Joey, little Joey McCarrick, you guys know him, of course, and he's all sky high over the Titans because they're spending money left and right. I'm like, bro, you're spending a lot of money to get it handed right back to you, courtesy of the Jags. I said, are you prepared for that?
Were you camping on him right there?
Oh, my gosh, I was. I brought the gavel down on him hard. And so we're going to see whether or not the AFC South can still run through Jacksonville. Did anything that happened make you change your mind? Because I don't think anything up in Indianapolis made you guys change your mind when they ink Alec Pierce to that huge deal and then send Michael Pittman off to Pittsburgh.
Yeah. I don't like David Montgomery going to Texas. So I don't like that.
Okay, all right. That's a good one. But he is a guy that they had to give up a little bit of draft capital, and he is a little up in age. And then you take a look at the acquisitions that Tennessee had. While decent, are they now they've got a guy right next to Jeffrey Simmons and John Franklin. That one would concern me. It does concern me a little bit.
Yeah, but I don't. The Titans have a lot more holes than just that.
Right.
That'll help
offensive linemen.
That'll help their run defense, but they've got multiple issues other than that, including their quarterback has to develop, which is the biggest issue of all.
Yeah. Yeah. That you know.
Yeah, I think nothing of what happened so far has got me to the point where I'm thinking, okay, there's going to be a problem next year.
Yeah. Okay.
I agree with Serge Montgomery. I think gives the Texans a strong back. They've had one every year they play them.
Yeah.
Every year they play them, they've had somebody that can move the pile.
And for what it's worth, and I hope C.J. Stroud keeps leveling back to average. That would be great. But he was at his best when they did have a good, healthy running back. And so that's you got to worry about that. Obviously, they got a really good defense as well. All right, there you go. Judgments, just kind of looking at free agency. We'll look at a few more of those storylines coming up in just a bit. We got to set the table for what's happening here with the players. I listened last night with great interest on the Golf Channel with the Brandel Chamblees, the Paul McGinleys of the world, debating the idea about this particular tournament being of major quality because the new leadership at the PGA Tour said, you know what, we're going to roll out this campaign that says this is major. And that's a great way to say, hey, we're poking our chest out now. And while I'll at least give you a few of the things that they had to say last night and then get into it a little bit more. We are hanging out just outside Trucks on 10. They've got the beautiful setup with the Cutwater rooftop bar, Michelob Ultra with their rollaway vans, serving cold Michelob Ultras. We're going to give you a chance to get on the deck a little bit later on. As a matter of fact, JJ, just go ahead and do it right now. Take a couple of callers at 641-1010. Let's put them in the drawing for an Ultra hookup courtesy of Michelob Ultra.
Here comes the judge. Litigated by Campione Law, champions for justice. XL Primetime, driven by Big Number 1 Duval Ford, elite service for elite companies. Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios, polished by Harbor Dental Care, the locally owned smile restoration experts.
Ahead, we build platforms for digital business. We help create your platform for digital business by weaving together advances in cloud infrastructure, intelligent operations, and modern applications. Digital business is comprised of 5 pillars. We call them imperatives because they're a must-have, not a nice-to-have. We enterprise cloud, integrated security, scaled DevOps, intelligent operations, and relentless automation. Need help with digital transformation? Ahead. Learn, grow, achieve.
The Players' Championship returns to TPC Sawgrass March 10th through 15th. Experience golf's most iconic stage with enhanced food and beverage offerings, interactive fan attractions, and an atmosphere built for every type of fan. See the best players in the world, including world number 1 Scotty Scheffler, 2025 champion Rory McIlroy, and fan favorite Brooks Koepka take on the legendary Stadium Course and the famous Island Green. Tickets available at theplayers.com.
When my wrist pain was acting up and I needed help, I took Dan Higgins' advice and headed over to see the experts at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. This is Stuart Moore with the PGA Tour. I highly recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. Whenever you have a need, they took great care of me. They'll take great care of you.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy. The next time you need orthopedic care, you can rely on our team at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Springtime is the perfect time to get your home organized. Hey, this is Lauren Brooks, and I love our closets from Closets by Design. They create custom storage systems designed around how you actually live. From closets and garages to entertainment centers, laundry rooms, and storage for any space and budget. Make an appointment to tour their showroom on Phillips Highway and get 40% off plus an extra 15% off, free installation, and 18 months special financing. Schedule your free consultation at 904-878-9393 or find them online, closetsbydesign.com.
In the game of vehicle performance and reliability, Atlantic Infinity is always the top pick. This is Hayes Carlion. Did you know that every certified pre-owned Infinity is inspected, factory-backed, with a limited warranty, and gets the same championship-level service as a brand-new Infinity? Every mile will feel like first class. Check out their full certified inventory now at AtlanticInfinity.com or visit Atlantic Infinity off Atlantic near St. John's Bluff.
Checkmate. I'm Brendan Cecilia, founder of Checkmate Coatings.
And I'm Chester, Checkmate's mascot and brand ambassador.
Why do you even talk in these ads?
People see me on the trucks, Brendan, so they expect to hear from me as well.
But I have over a decade's experience personally installing high-quality polymer floors right here in Jacksonville.
Well, I'm a professional mascot, riding around on the side of your trucks, smiling at passers-by.
Then could you at least tell people about our 2-stage polymer application process? Give your garage the finishing touch with a gorgeous floor that's guaranteed to last?
A bit busy posing for selfies, I'm afraid.
Years of experience?
Check. Adorable mascot?
Check. The team you need to make your garage gorgeous? Checkmate!
Transforming your floors, making them great. Checkmate.
Visit CheckmateCoatings.com. That's CheckmateCoatings.com.
Been in a car crash? I'm local attorney Rick Alexander, and I've made it our mission at the Alexander Law Practice to listen to you so I can fight for the best possible result for you. I've been practicing over 30 years, and our team focuses on guiding you through the entire process. And because fees and reimbursement costs come out at the end of the case, I will never ask you to come out of pocket. For a free review, call 904-400-6600 or log on to alexanderlawpractice.com, Jacksonville.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
You definitely want to cool off. Take advantage of that AC while you got it. If you're heading out here, the sun's shining. It is gorgeous, but we're going to tilt it towards the high 80s today. And hopefully the weather will stay this way at the very least, keep the rain away. We may see a little bit on Thursday. At least that's the forecast right now. But we are hanging out. XL Primetime, we're kind of like your ultra hookup here at Trucks on 10 with Michelob Ultra and Cutwater Spirits right behind us. Sample stations that they've got set up, their rooftop bar, and of course all the trucks set up as well. So you guys, and there are plenty of people in there enjoying it right now, but we're right around the corner from where Trucks on 10 are set up. So I mentioned to you guys, and you guys, like, if you come out to this tournament, do you feel like you have to stump for it, argue for it to be a major, or you just say, hey, this is one of the greatest tournaments in the world, or you may not even know how big this tournament is? You guys let us know on the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures at 641-1010. I always say to you fellas, people around the world travel, make this a destination. It is a golf mecca to come to and enjoy this championship. This 4 rounds of coverage is sent out to over 225 countries, close to 1 billion eyeballs on it, just as far as how many people consume this. Kids grow up in other countries saying, I want to compete at the Players, not as much as they say, I want to compete at Augusta. I would never be that naive to suggest that, because that's still the cathedral of all golf cathedrals, Augusta. But I like the fact that the PGA Tour is stepping out on a limb and saying, you know what, this has everything you want to call it a major. It's the strongest field in golf. It's the richest purse in golf. It has the most recognizable hole in all of golf. It is immaculate. The challenge is great every single year. So what do you think about the idea, Big Sirs, that they want to try and call this?
I mean, it's okay to say you're kind of a big deal. There's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. What do they need to do? Petition?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for real.
That's the truth. Coach Duff, who we'll hear from a little bit later on, he would come out here. We'll get him to tell a story a little bit later on, but he would come out here when he was coaching with the Jags, and I said, you will not recognize it. I said, and it was great back then, and it's still unbelievable. So the idea that they just want to kind of, at the very least, get that argument going again. It's easily one of the 5 biggest tournaments in the world. Paul McGinley threw the Ryder Cup out there, which I get. But that's a biannual competition. It's still just Europe and the United States. It is one of the biggest golf events that you will see. But we're talking every single year. The stakes are as high here as they are at any other of the major events. This has the best field compared to what's at Augusta, compared to what's at the U.S. Open, the Open, and PGA Championship right there with them.
It's just the name.
Yeah.
It's literally just that one word, major.
Yeah, I know. Isn't it crazy?
And because it doesn't have that attached to it, you know, it's not considered a elite tournament, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
If you have the best field in golf, if the best field is competing in your tournament, that's better than any major.
Yeah, PGA of America is right there with them.
Or at least at the same level of that group.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
like go to any other sport. Like if you've got the best teams playing in the NCAA tournament, the best teams.
Hold on. You used to be able to say that, but they don't have Rahm, Bryson, or Terrell Hatton, who are like maybe 3 of the top 10 best in the world.
Yeah,
so like you can't be a major without those guys right now.
Yeah, and now they bring Brooks back, and
Brooks
this
is terrible though.
No. Well, Hatton versus Brooks?
Right now? Come on, man. Hatton's like always in the top 10 in all the majors, and he just killed us in the Ryder Cup and those other 2.
Yeah,
I don't disagree with what you're saying, but you're also talking about 3 guys that chose to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
That chose knowing that they couldn't play in this tournament.
I'm not okay. That's not what I'm arguing at all. I'm just saying if you're gonna say you have the best field in golf, they don't anymore.
Yeah, this is a good time to bring it up as far as what you're saying, JJ, because honestly, those missing pieces are crucial. The Cam Smiths of the world who won here, the Rahms and all them, 100% agree with that that argument or whatever. It's just that I'm still looking at right now what they do have available to them, and obviously the fracture of the golf world is still impacting this tournament, whereas Augusta was the first one. I think they were the first one that said, yeah, we're going to welcome them in. And so, yeah, that goes against this in terms of having the bigs of the bigs, but at the same time, it's still all the other things that they have working in their favor that makes it still one of the major events. From March to August, you basically have all these major events. And so I'm just curious as to what people think as far as whether or not they even need to try and float the argument out there or not. One of our texters, one of our nooners, I truly thought the TPC had a chance to become a major until I looked at the tee times for Thursday. 70% of the players on the tee sheet, no one could pick out of a lineup. That I get. But when he says compared to the British Open and the Masters, it might have the same kind of feel, because even though you do have those others, you got Rahm and Bryson and all the other big you have a handful of other big names. They still have the same guys on their tee sheets as well. And we probably could have that argument with the Open, with the United States Open, with the PGA, whatever the case may be. So 641-1010, you guys jump in on that. It is still an unbelievable championship setting, and at the same place every year, you know what you can expect. That's the beautiful thing about it as well.
Yeah, I mean, yes, it's the same course, the same time.
Mm-hmm.
It's like March hits, the second week of March arrives, and here's this tournament with the best players.
Yeah.
And to JJ's point, you don't have 2 or 3 of the best players. All right, I still contend it's their choice.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you're right, they're not here, but they willingly did that. They willingly took themselves out of this situation where they could be playing in the best field of golf.
Yeah, and they got a feather back in their cap when Brooks Koepka said, you know what, I'm going to forget about all that money. I'm going to come back. I'm going to lose a lot of money to come back. And he has won a PGA within the last 5 years, and that's why he has eligibility, which is awesome for him and them.
Right. I don't blame them for chasing money at all. I don't blame them at all for chasing money. I'm just saying that they made that decision.
Mm-hmm.
They knew what was going to happen when they made that decision. So I just don't know that you can say, all right, well, they're not in there, so it means the tournament's not a big deal. I don't agree with that. I just don't. Because now they're not playing against the best.
I never said it wasn't a big deal. I said if you're going to call yourself a major, you can't have 3 of the top 10 guys not in it. You're not a major.
I understand what you're saying. My point is they willingly left to go play in a tournament.
No argument here from that.
Hang on a second. Hang on a second. That wasn't as stressful as playing in the PGA. It's an easier road for them in the live. Okay? It's an easier lift, and they get paid more.
Call it the ACC.
Right.
Okay,
you go
but
from playing
what
in the
does
SEC
that
to playing in the ACC.
Dude, that we're talking live versus PGA, bro.
Right,
I'm not arguing that.
I know that, but you can't just simply drill down on one thing. Well, they're not there, so it doesn't mean any good. All right. Well, we don't know how good they are. They've been away from this tournament, playing the best players in the sport for how many years now? 3, almost 4 years.
Yeah.
We don't know how good they are.
They're in the majors. Is my point, though, Matt. Like they're in the majors. We see them playing. They're in the top 10s in the majors. They win the majors. Like that's what I'm saying.
Sometimes they're not.
Yeah, the only guy of the guys we're talking about is Bryson is the one that's
and John Rahm
that has won a major. Okay,
right.
In the last since the defection.
Since the defection, right?
Yeah, and so it was Bryson and Brooks. Those were the 2, and the other guys haven't necessarily. DJ is long gone, just in terms of an argument right now. And Hatton is a good player.
John Rahm hasn't won a major since the defection.
No, he has not.
So you can bring up John Rahm all you want, JJ. My point is he hasn't won it.
Okay, well I just saw him destroy everyone on the Ryder Cup. I mean, you're acting like these guys suck now because they're not on the PGA Tour. That's insane. We see them in the majors. We see them top 5 in the majors. Like just because you're not winning doesn't mean much. Only one guy wins.
What I'm saying is they're not being stressed on a week in, week out basis.
Not arguing that at all. Like you're making this into a live PGA. I'm not. I'm just saying if the players wants to call themselves a major, you have to let the guys in the top 10 in the sport play, bro. And since it's a PGA event, that's not going to happen. Therefore, they're not a major.
Yeah, I don't think you do. Actually, I don't think.
Okay, so who decides what's a major? The media.
Yeah, the golfing world.
Yes, exactly.
The one thing is that history is on the side of the others versus the PGA Tour. It's not. And so it is a simple.
Plus, it also doesn't matter. Even if they were playing it, the media wouldn't say it was a major because they haven't for years.
Yeah. And it's kind of like, is so-and-so, Pete Rose, a Hall of Famer? Is any of the other guys that the media decides on whether or not they get into the Hall of Fame or not? All right, we'll keep it rolling. XL Primetime, we are hanging out. Trucks on 10. You've got a great setup here. Anywhere on this golf course, you're going to love it. We will take a look at some of the practice tee times. I saw Mackenzie Hughes and a handful of guys go off number 10 just a little while ago, so we will get into all those coming up on XLP.
XL Prime Time.
Driven by Duval Ford. Get a Gator baseball chomp on 1010XL.
It's a Sunshine State Tuesday night treat in the Swamp. Number 20 Florida State and 23rd ranked Florida. Tonight at 7 on 1010 AM.
Need protection? Call Craig and Christine Kaprosky at Goosehead Insurance. The Kaproskys are a husband-wife team committed to finding you the right coverage at the right price in just a few short minutes. For home, auto, flood, or specialty insurance, Craig and Christine Kaprosky are the answer. Craig.Kaprosky at Goosehead.com.
Like many football fans in Jacksonville, I love defense. Hi, I'm attorney Lee Lockett, and I'm here to tell you that defense in the courtroom is important as well. That's because penalties for DUI are much more serious than penalties on the gridiron. If you or someone you know is facing a DUI, call us for a free case analysis now. Know before you blow 858-9818. Put my more than 20 years of experience to work for you. Office is Jacksonville, serving all surrounding counties. Call 858-9818 or go to knowbeforeyouBlow.com.
Homeowners, you taking a look at your lawn yet? Let me guess, you're looking at your lawn wondering what to do after a historically cold season. Well, if you want your lawn to bounce back quick, you gotta call topdressing.com. Nobody else can do what they do. Their proprietary process. I've never seen anything like it, and neither will your neighbors. They will have your lawn looking like a golf course. Nobody else can do it. They're no secret now, so get ahead of it. Call for a free estimate. Be the envy of your neighbors. Top dress your lawn like the pros with topdressing.com.
Spring is almost here. Is your yard ready? Lucas Tree Service, a family-owned business with over 45 years of experience, is your local certified arborist for tree removal, trimming, and stump grinding for residential or commercial properties. Protect your home, boost your curb appeal, and get top-notch service from a Jacksonville company. Make sure your trees are healthy and safe before summer hits. Schedule your tree inspection today at lucastreeservice.com.
When it comes to glass, you don't want average. You want flawless. Duval Glass and Mirror has transformed homes and businesses across Jacksonville for over 35 years. Frameless showers that wow. Mirrors cut exactly to your style. Fogged or broken glass replaced. Decorative tabletops. Windows replaced or repaired to stand up to Florida storms. All backed by a 100% guarantee. Visit DuvalGlass.com for your free quote. There's only one name for glass and mirror around these parts. It's Duval!
What's happening, beautiful people? E.T. here. Let me tell you about a little something that's happening right here in my side of town in Fleming Island. Encore Research Group is advancing the future of medicine through clinical research studies focused on weight loss, diabetes, hypertension, and more. Their team of multi-specialty doctors are proudly serving folks in Fleming Island, Green Coast Springs, and Middleburg. If you ever wondered whether a research study might be right for you, find out at EncoreDocs.com to see if you qualify. Encore Research Group. The future of medicine starts here.
Attention men and women. If you would like to get your hair back, then you need to listen to some of our clients. John in Orange Park.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Call IHRS now at 904-777-IHRS. Find out how to grow your hair back with a free hair and scalp examination. Mike from Bay Meadows.
I finally found the most experienced company who could restore my hair. Now I have hair where I had none before.
Results guaranteed. Diane from Ponte Vedra.
Now I have what lotions couldn't give me. Thick, beautiful hair.
Find out why you're losing your hair and how to grow your hair back. Call 904-777-IHRS for a limited time free hair and scalp examination.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
Thank you, IHRS.
Thanks, IHRS, for giving me my hair back.
Hurry and receive a free hair and scalp examination and get 2 weeks of laser treatments for free. Call IHRS at 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Hairforme.com.
The new Ackerman Cancer Center is now open in World Golf Village with state-of-the-art technology that detects cancer fast and accurately. Same-day appointments are available where faster answers meet compassionate care. AckermanCancerCenter.com.
All right, Jacksonville, Florida summer doesn't ease in. It shows up angry. One day you're fine. The next day your AC is fighting for its life. If your unit barely survived last year, don't push your luck. Make the smart move now. Call Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. Honest pricing, no surprise markups. With the Beat the Heat early special, you can save $500 off a new AC system. Don't wait till it's 98 degrees and everyone's scrambling. Call for your free in-home estimate today. 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com. When you're stuck, call the Duck.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. is XL Primetime. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
Gorgeous day. Later on, Ludacris will be on stage. They've got the military appreciation really going on the entire week. But today is set aside so they have a beautiful ceremony as they will get things kicked off around 4:30 this afternoon. The executive director of the Players, Lee Smith, and really everybody else, they make dang sure the military who can make it out here are welcomed, thanked, and basically bro-hugged all day for everything that they did. They got the Patriots outpost set up where all the military get to go in there. And, of course, with the limited number of tickets that they had, they made sure as many – what did Lee tell us? I think something in the neighborhood of 7 hours. All the tickets for today to get in were sold out that fast. So it is definitely an unbelievable start to the week. And you can just bet there will be a big crowd with Ludacris coming out a little bit later on. I did talk to GMAC and my Cycles of Jacksonville folks, and they're coming out. Plenty of others are coming out, all fired up and ready to go to see a little Ludacris a little bit later on today. All right, so we'll get back into the discussion as far as the free agency is concerned, but also we're going to bring up Lou Holtz because to my right, Coach Mark Duffner. Maddie, you did a column last week that Coach Duff read about Lou Holtz. Mm-hmm. He has got more ties to Lou than any of us. And so he's going to be able to tell us that coming up in just a bit. And so we'll get Duff in on that subject and then, of course, in on free agency and who's still out there. We mentioned Trey Hendrickson. He's just like, what's going on? What is that all about, Big? With everything that took place with all these record signings, what about a guy sitting back on the sidelines whenever you see something like that? What are you thinking?
Well, I mean, I told you the other day that I was in that same position. With my agent Drew Rosenhaus, when everybody there was a floodgate of just people getting signed or whatever.
Do you want to do Leon's locker room?
And I was on the back end all day. I was frustrated.
All right, here we go.
We can absolutely do it.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Now, the Lemon Pepper Locker Room with Leon Searcy, served up by Wingstop.
All right. Wingstop is open till 1. Mm-hmm. All right, delivering right to your door those hot, crispy wings everybody adores so dearly. They don't deliver till 1, but they deliver to your door and they're open till 1. Don't forget about the ranch, by the way.
That's exactly.
Load
up on some ranch.
Right. So, I mean, I get, listen, with Trey Hendrickson, when it comes, I mean, age might be factoring in as well. Mm-hmm. He's a hell of a pass rusher.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a commodity to any locker room, good locker room guy. I was in the same position with the Steelers, but I was a little bit younger,
right?
A little bit more not as patient because I saw the floodgates of guys coming through, signing and whatever, and you start to question yourself, to be quite honest with you, because you say to yourself, should I go back to the Steelers? Should I wait on this? And it only was a 24-hour process. Now, I don't know how long it's going to take with Trey.
Right.
There might be a situation where a deal or a trade might be made. I was just in a situation where I saw a lot of guys in front of me, behind me, sign contracts, and I had to wait 24 hours. The 24 hours goes by real slow, bro. Especially when you're a free agent, you're trying to figure out what team you're trying to get to. Mm-hmm. So it's a frustrating deal. So I think ultimately in the end, he's going to the right team will make the right necessary changes to get him there as a player.
We could have included this in our judgment, but do you think, in your judgment, he's worth $30 million? Okay, because we'll ask Coach Duff coming up in a bit. He coached on that side of the ball with Trey Henderson up in Cincinnati a couple seasons ago.
$30 million?
30.
Yeah.
30.
I'm going to say no.
Okay.
Wow.
I'm going to say no. That's a lot of money.
Okay, but let me just give you some examples here. All right.
Listen, first of all, you got to know this. Matt doesn't like old people.
Yeah.
Okay?
It's not true.
You're against old.
I'm talking about the NFL time. He doesn't like older players. I'm telling you that right there. Just like Laramie Tunsil, 30. He should make $30 million.
Yeah.
Trent, your boy Trent, the left tackle for.
You've heard me the last couple of days saying that I don't think the players should get all they can get.
Yeah. Then what?
You asked me if I thought he was worth $30 million for this franchise.
Okay, here's the one that's
my
going to shock you.
response is I don't think he's worth $30 million.
Okay, here's the one that's going to shock you. All right,
Hendrickson.
Yeah. Are you going to tell us that Jalen Phillips is worth the contract that he got versus Trey Hendrickson?
No, hell no.
Okay, both of them are available.
Right, I wouldn't give it to either one of them.
And one of them already got inked for that amount of money. Jalen Phillips got that deal. The Carolina Panthers spent money on Jalen Phillips and on Devin Lloyd.
Do you realize how incredibly, this fan base would go sideways if they signed Jalen Phillips and he gets 5.5 sacks?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They've already got a guy that's among the top 10 edge rushers in the league paid.
Yeah.
And doesn't get sacks.
Right.
You want another one?
Yeah, I'm not even talking about him. I'm just using that as
I think it's different if you draft one and you try and develop one, right? And then you get your sacks.
Yeah.
Or if it's a guy like Max Crosby, who clearly is a game changer.
Well, I mean, Trey Henderson is a proven commodity. He had 14 and a half sacks last year.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah, if anyone's worth 30 mil per, it's Trey Henderson.
You pay him 30 mil?
Over a Jalen Phillips.
A proven commodity?
Yeah.
You mean a tag 30 million, or you would pay him?
I would play him for 1 year for 30.
Okay, so you're saying just get him and tag him.
Yeah, tag him, yeah.
He wants $30 million a year. You can't get him and tag him, so you got to sign him to a contract. He ain't gonna sign a 1 year deal. So that's what you got to do. But he wants 30.
All right, so if he wants a contract, bro, you're looking at a 4 year, 125, 130
2
mil.
years, 60. That's what Tunsil got.
Yeah, and you can take a look.
Larry Tunsil got 2 years, 60.
Like, let's see here, 3 years, 60 for Mike Evans is another example. You tear up the last year of that contract, that's basically what you're doing, something like that. All right, we'll keep it rolling. We'll talk to a guy who did coach on that side of the ball up in Cincinnati with Trey Henderson just a couple of short seasons ago as we are hanging out. The Ultra hookup is XL Primetime as we were hanging out right outside where Michelob Ultra is serving some of those cold, delicious pints, and then, of course, Cutwater Spirits sampling, along with all the food trucks sitting right here at Trucks on 10.
XL Prime Time, driven by Duval Ford. Gator Nation, this is your home for Gator Talk. 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwoods. I've heard people selling diamonds saying they have high-quality diamonds at rock-bottom prices. Can that happen?
Frank, that'd be like a Mercedes dealer saying they sold at the same price as a Yugo. That just doesn't happen in any industry, and people who believe it are always the ones looking for something too good to be true, and they normally find out later it was. In diamonds, when you talk about higher quality diamonds with credible diamond grading reports from GIA, AGS, or Forevermark, the prices are higher, but so is the quality and value. Now, for a customer to understand that, they have to try to learn things like going to the internet, but they're going to get confused because they don't have an expert to ask questions to. The best way to get answers is to come in one of our stores and ask one of our professionals what those questions are and have them explain real diamonds to you. The result will be you'll understand more about a diamond's quality, price, and value by coming in.
Underwood Jewelers in San Marco, in Avondale, and at the shops of Ponte Vedra.
Yeah, I know how awful it is to get injured, but not like my friend Tom who got rear-ended last year. Tom McMahon is here. Morgan & Morgan can help you. They're the largest personal injury law firm in the nation. 1,000 lawyers, 100 offices across the nation, and over $30 billion recovered. And guess what? They don't get a single penny unless you do. A proven track record with backup. Hard to find these days, but not with Morgan & Morgan. For the people, that's right. Get injured due to someone's neglect, get paid. Dial Pound Law or check out forthepeople.com.
Pick the hottest players at the Players.
Yes! If your golfers score the lowest at TPC Sawgrass, you could win $1,000 of jewelry from Beard's Diamonds. Teed up by Endless Summer Roofing. Enter at 1010XL.com.
Frank Frangie here. Nimnick Chevrolet is proud to be a 7-time Chevrolet Dealer of the Year recipient, the only dealership in Northeast Florida to ever win this prestigious award, earned by treating customers with courtesy, respect, and fairness. All part of Nimnick's Treating You Right guarantee. Visit NimnickChevy.com to learn more. For 3 generations, Nimnick has been the place customers keep coming back to. They treat you right. Where do you go? The answer is simple. Nobody but Nimnick. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Kubota keeps the job site running smoothly with the #1 selling compact excavator lineup in the world. Reliable, capable, and backed by strong dealer support. Stop by today to power up your crew. Right now, bring home select Kubota excavators with 0% financing available or save up to $4,800. Now through March 31st. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Visit Coastal Equipment in Jacksonville and McClenny to reach your North Florida Kubota Superstore.
Got a dent or a scratch that needs fixing? San Jose Collision in Mandarin offers expert auto body repair and works with all insurance. Family owned and locally trusted. San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
Firehouse Subs is adding a new heavy hitter to the roster, the Chicken and Cheddar Rancher.
Grilled chicken, melted cheddar, crispy bacon stacked high with fresh toppings, and creamy buttermilk ranch. The Chicken and Cheddar Rancher, only at Firehouse Subs.
Hey, Hicken here. Beat the spring cleaning rush and call our cleaning heroes at Zero Res. This month, take 15% off dryer, vent, and air duct cleaning. Visit ZeroResJacksonville.com and tell them 1010XL sent you.
Zero Res. AC's broke, it ain't no joke. Call Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. FloridaHomeAC.com.
Here's a health and wellness tip from orthopedic specialists of Jacksonville.
Here's a simple tip for shoulder health to improve your posture. Slouching can put extra stress on your shoulders, leading to pain and injury. Make sure your head is over your shoulders are relaxed and pulled back, and your spine is properly aligned, whether you're sitting or standing. If you sit for long periods of time, make sure to get up and take breaks and work on pulling your shoulders back. Get up and get moving, Jacks, and go Jags.
Stay healthy with orthopedic specialists of Jacksonville.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm RJ Saunders for 1010XL. Former Jaguars cornerback Greg Newsome will join the New York Giants when the league year starts on Wednesday. Newsome will sign a one-year deal for up to $10 million, according to ESPN's Adam Schefter. Jacksonville acquired Newsome in October in that deal that sent Tyson Campbell in a 7th-round pick to the Cleveland Browns in exchange for Newsome in a 6th-round selection. Newsome started in 11 games for Jacksonville, playing in 12, totaling 29 tackles, 6 pass breakups, and 1 interception. Right now, 83 degrees at 103. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. We know what cool sounds like. XL Primetime. But what does it feel like? Find out at FloridaHomeAC.com. 1010XL.
All right, we are enjoying the first day of fans invited out to the stadium course, the Players Stadium course at TPC Sawgrass for practice today, military appreciation today, practice tomorrow, and then it is on Thursday. And Coach Mark Duffner joins us now. We have our coaches visit with us regularly, both sides of the ball, and Coach Duff coaching on the defensive side of the ball, in all between head coaching, coordinating in the college and pro game. Linebackers coach here, 50 years of coaching. And Coach Duff, it's good to be relaxed out here, just enjoying a little Players Championship.
Are you kidding me, Joe? Unbelievable. I mean, if there's a better setting than this anywhere in the country, I'd like to see it. Well, we're blessed to be here today.
Yeah, it's awesome. Now, I want to get you in. I'm going to get you on a little bit as far as going down memory lane, how much this has changed over the years. But let's get straight to what we have been talking about, which is what's up with the actual free agency. You were on the coaching staff up in Cincinnati 2 seasons ago with Trey Hendrickson. We just finished that argument. You heard all of it about whether he's sitting on the sidelines right now because he asked for $30 million, and it's expected that a bunch of teams are interested, but no one took a big old swing just yet.
Well, I had the privilege to coach him, actually. I coached the outside backers, and I coached him every season but this past one in 2025. And boy, you talk about an explosive, game-changing athlete. I mean, 2023, 2024, 17 sacks. I think in the 4 years he was healthy, he led all of the NFL in sacks. I mean, this is a guy that, as Matt likes to say, can truly affect the quarterback. And, he's a guy that takes care of his body. He's a relentless, competitive guy. He's right here in Nocatee. I mean, he lives here in Nocatee, and he's training with Mike Ryan, the former Jaguars trainer here, who's, I think, one of the very best in the world as far as that's concerned. So, geez, I would pray, again, I've lit more candles and said rosaries that maybe somehow we could get him down to the St. John's River. So I hope that would happen.
Coach, you're talking about a guy, I mean, I know his locker room presence. You spoke on it, his mentality about the game, their love for the game. You're talking about a guy had 39 sacks in the last 3 years. That's phenomenal. What kind of productivity would that bring to our defensive front, and what kind of mentality will he force upon the guys here in his locker room with the way he gets after the pass?
Well, he brings in immediate competitiveness, immediate preparation. He's a true pro, and then some. When he came to Cincinnati Bengals, it's not by accident that we were a team that had to be reckoned with. I mean, he brought an attitude and a work ethic and a preparation level that was a standard. We talk standards. He raised that standard, and he would bring that same here. You talk about somebody that, again, the opponent has to be aware of. You know, we always write on the top of the board, make the opponent's press box nervous. You bring in Trey Hendrickson, and you're going to make that opponent's press box nervous because this cat can get to the quarterback, and he can play the run very well too. So, I mean, geez, if I was Anthony, I'd be, like I said, I'd be in church too, on my knees, hoping like hell somehow, some way we can get him in a teal uniform.
So I've been thinking about this in the break. If you bring in Hendrickson, number one, what does that say about? Again, it wasn't their decision. He's not their guy. What does that say about the guy you're paying top 5, 6, 7 among edges in the NFL? And more importantly, what does that say about the other edge who's coming up on a decision you have to make on him? Do you extend him?
Well, I think it says what the message is since this group has come. Come on, you better be ready or we're moving on. We're trying to get better every day, and we're going to do what it takes to get better every day. And I think that's been demonstrated by James Gladstone and Tony and Liam in terms of the way they're building this club. You know, be a producer. If you're a producer, you're on. But I mean, if you haven't been producing, we're going to move on to find somebody who can.
And I think that here's the struggle in the fans' brain.
Yeah.
They did produce, and yet they moved on. So can you give us an idea of what the conversations might have been like? Not knowing exactly, might have been like. Do we have another guy? Is there somebody on the scout sheet that says that we think can do the same job for a whole lot less? How do you think that went?
I'm sure. I think every single idea and thought has been addressed. But bottom line, we got to get. Each coach and each staff right now is thinking of ways they can get more out of their players.
Okay.
Their star players, their backup players, trying to get the most out of their roster. And if it's by player acquisition, meaning right now in free agency, let's go do it. But let's be able to back up our acquisition. You know, yesterday a lot of flurry, a lot of flash, but you know what's going to be substantive, what's going to be productive, and that's what I think everybody's looking for.
Yeah.
Now, Coach, listen, I'm not a huge proponent of throwing money at free agents, even though I was one myself.
Yeah.
I believe in drafting well, developing your talent, and hopefully they can go out there. But at some particular time, the guys that you drafted, you've got to pay for productivity. I mean, we're just saying that we're going to find a guy to replace 13 touchdowns for Etienne. We're just going to find a guy that's going to replace Devin Lloyd's his ability to run down, cause turnovers and make tackles for losses. So, I mean, I could understand that the coaching staff being confident in their ability to turn around athletes that they draft and perform well, but they're proven commodities. I've seen these guys play well, and then you just let them walk out the door. That's just a little concerning to me.
No, I'm with you all the way. It's when you have great players. I mean, that's why I was telling many people I was hoping like crazy that we could keep Etienne and Devin Lloyd, especially with the seasons they just came off and what I think they meant to the team. But I will also send kudos to the staff and to the organization for signing Buster Brown. Buster Brown's a 7th-round draft pick who's gotten better and better and actually played his best season, at least to my eyes, this past year. And to get him back in the fold at a corner position where you need that, coupled with we hope Travis Hunter and Jones and the other guys that are coming back, I think that's a good thing. If you can continue to develop players, your own players, shoot, that's the best way to go. So like you said, through the draft. But if we can add, and I've seen it done, we did it in Cincinnati with Trey was one of them, DJ Reader was one of them, Von Bell, a number of guys that came on to our program and it immediately set the tone in the classroom, in the classroom and on the locker room in terms of how to be pros and how to be a winning team. Sometimes if you hit on that now, that's going to lift your team.
So when I look at Etienne and Lloyd, Coach, I see that they probably could have signed one of them they really wanted to, but they didn't. They didn't sign either one of them. So that makes me think they're very comfortable with what they have on the roster, because you can say, well, they're going to draft somebody. You have no idea if you're going to draft someone that's going to work out. Mm-hmm. And if they don't, then you got to be comfortable with what you have. I think they're comfortable with Ventrell Miller, with Kaiser, and I think they're comfortable, obviously, with Tootin and with Quinn Allen, right?
Yeah. Well, absolutely. I think so. In fact, all of us were talking about in August when I kind of just came on the scene, the competition at linebacker. Where was Lloyd going to be? Is it Ventrell? Is it Lloyd? Who is it going to be? Kaiser's coming on. There was no, he emerged and had a phenomenal season.
Right.
And all kudos to him and the coaching staff for this particular year. Same thing with Etienne. There was some, okay, but he also had a heck of a year. Now he's had three 1,000-yard seasons in the last 40. That's pretty doggone good. And I think what he brought to the team in terms of leadership, teammanship, play, catching the ball out of the backfield. Geez, so Pete, I hated to see that guy go. So, and because we know those guys, anytime you add anybody, free agency or their draft, you don't really know until you have them, and sometimes you don't know unless you've had them for 2 or 3 years.
Right. And that's also the risk. When those guys are on, make it and take it deals where this is it. Let's see what you got. They can always just say, no, I'm not coming back. I'm going to free agency.
Right, but just think about this, okay? 4 years, 52 is hell of a hard thing to turn down.
Yeah.
But now Etienne's got Tyler Shook throwing it to him as opposed to Trevor Lawrence. And so we're going to find out. Kellen Moore drawing up the offense as opposed to Liam Cohen drawing up the offense. So we'll find out.
But he's also got 4 for 52 instead of 4 for 30 something that the Jags probably offered him.
Well, and keep in mind, too, he's going back home. He's from Louisiana, and he's going back. I was happy. I'm happy for the guy. I became a major fan of his this season, watching him, and I'm happy for him. I'm kind of sad for us, but I'm happy for him. But I also feel like you just said, Matt, that they feel strongly, that the organization feels strongly about the players we've got. 19 are back from last year; they're signed, and boy, there's nothing like having a level of confidence on players that the players that you've had. That means a lot to coaching staffs, and I think to organizations.
Simple as that. All right, we'll keep it rolling because we got to talk a little bit more about, do they have guys in the building that can replace the guys that just left? That we'll ask Coach Duff. We've been talking about it a bunch. And then also, let's go back to Lou Holtz because Coach Duff had a special relationship with him as well. And we will do that coming up. The Ultra Place right here is the Players Championship. We are enjoying it. Michelob Ultra and Cutwater Spirits is right there inside the Trucks on 10 setup, so you guys can drop on by, enjoy some of their sampling, get up on their rooftop bar, whatever it might be. Drop on by Trucks on 10 with XLP.
XL Primetime, driven by Duval Ford Mobile Service. Game-ready service right to your driveway. 1010XL covers the Players Championship start to finish. Track your favorite golfers and get live Southeast Orthopedic Specialist leaderboard updates. Teed up by Green Acres Sporting Goods, Performance Painting, and Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. Shoot your shot with Prize Picks and get $50 in lineups instantly when you play your first $5. That's right. Prize Picks is now giving you $50 in lineups when you sign up and play your first $5. Prize Picks makes every dunk, every game, every dime, every single board that much more exciting. Don't miss this chance to get started on America's #1 app for sports picks, Prize Picks. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch your winnings roll in. It's just that simple. And now Prize Picks has early payouts. If your lineup is off to a hot start, you have the option to cash out before the game even finishes. At Prize Picks, how you play is up to you. You can choose flex play and get paid even if one of your picks misses, or power play for the biggest payouts. And all Prize Picks withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use promo code 1010XL and get $50 in lineups instantly when you play $5 in lineups. That's $50 instantly in lineups when you play $5 in lineups. Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
The Players Championship returns to TPC Sawgrass March 10th through 15th. Experience golf's most iconic stage with enhanced food and beverage offerings, interactive fan attractions, and an atmosphere built for every type of fan. See the best players in the world, including world #1 Scotty Scheffler, 2025 champion Rory McIlroy, and fan favorite Brooks Koepka take on the legendary Stadium Course and the famous Island Green. Tickets available at theplayers.com.
Mike Dempsey, if you're thinking about a bathroom upgrade, maybe turning that old tub into a safer walk-in shower, check out 5 Star Bath Solutions. I shopped around, talked to several companies, and I chose 5 Star because their customer service was simply incredible. Responsive, honest, upfront about the entire project, and their pricing was even better than expected. When you're ready for a fresh look, better comfort, and a bathroom space you'll love using every day, schedule your free consultation at 5starbathsolutions.com and get the 5-star experience.
Patrick Young here, a.k.a. the Big PY, and you know I love my Florida Gators. Now you can hear my Gator basketball instant reaction following each Gator Hoops game. Look for my takes on the social channels of 1010XL, brought to you by VanguardSportsLeagues.com.
This is Hayes Carlion for First Florida Credit Union. I went to the branch on 210 to get my car loan and had a fantastic experience. I got a great rate and was in and out. The online banking services are also outstanding. Depositing checks through the mobile app is fast and efficient. First Florida Credit Union was voted Best Credit Union in the Best of Bold City Community Choice Awards for 3 years running, and it's easy to see why. You need to be banking with First Florida Credit Union. They're enriching people every day. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity Lender.
Need or want cash? Beach's Jewelry and Pawn has cash available. Ready to buy guitars, surfboards, jewelry, firearms, tools, and especially gold. They need it all, selling or pawning. Get cash on the spot at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
Have you got concrete or asphalt rubble piling up? Arcosa Crushed Concrete will pay you for it and recycle it. They're just minutes from Everbank Stadium on Talleyrand. Call Arcosa Crushed Concrete and get paid for what you don't need. ArcosaCrushedConcrete.com.
Mortgage rates have dropped. They're expected to move lower. Home sales momentum is building. So now's the time to get your home ready to maximize your sales price. It's time to call Chad and Sandy, the proven experts to sell your home. Maybe you have concerns about putting your home on the market and getting it sold. Well, let me alleviate those for you. There's a real quick solution. Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold or they will buy it. Call 414-6200 or go to chadandsandy.com. You'll find out for yourself. Chad and Sandy, the local real estate experts I trust and recommend with the sale of your home or mine. Using their proprietary Market Max system, Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. Anthony and Mary in Palmco said, we needed to sell our home to move closer to family, but low cash offers weren't cutting it. Since we'd only bought a year earlier, options felt limited, but not for Chad and Sandy. Call Chad and Sandy today, or log on to chadandsandy.com.
Did you know that an annual coating inspection can extend the life of your building by years? Catching early signs like hairline cracks, fading, and moisture intrusion helps prevent costly repairs down the road and keeps your property looking its best. Our team at Performance Painting helps you stay ahead of maintenance with professional inspections and long-lasting coating solutions. Protect your building, protect your budget. Go to performance-painting.com to schedule a free inspection. Performance Painting, repair, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting. 1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC.
All right, so the Lions lost their running back last week when David Montgomery went to the Texans. Well, they just got a new one. They are signing Isaiah Pacheco, former Kansas City Chiefs running back.
Wow. Paco.
Wow.
Paco in the Honolulu Blue. He runs angry. He definitely had to deal with
How
some
do you feel
injuries.
about that with your Honolulu Blue?
I listen, I'm going to, just from the Honolulu Blue point of view, I'm going to be missing David Montgomery, that's for sure. And as Sir said earlier, I dang sure ain't happy with him coming into the AFC South. But Paco, an angry runner who kind of sacrifices his body in a way few do when it comes. The running back, just position alone, sacrifices their body more than pretty much anybody else out there. But Paco takes it to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
So we'll see how he does. They definitely are feeling the pinch a little bit. They were mentioned in the Trey Hendrickson sweepstakes as far as maybe trying to get him. Just imagine they've got Aiden Hutchinson and company along that front, and we'll see where it goes. All right, so before we get to the Lou Holtz talk, we've got one of our coaches, Mark Duffner, hanging out with us. Joe C., Matty Hayes, Big Sirs, we are right here. Steps away from the trucks on 10. We've got our white tent set up, and you'll see 1010XL above. Just drop on by and say, hey, you got plenty of people walking up 10 fairway.
Yep.
If you're heading from the tee to the green, just look to your right, and you will see trucks on 10 and 1010XL.
In fact, if you enter through the Davis Love gate, you
Yeah.
take a left, and it's maybe 150 yards.
Yeah, that's the
And there you are.
closest. Yeah, that's the closest entry as far as when you come in. The Davis Love third entry, which is right by Sawgrass Village, which is where we did a bunch of shows there for a long time. All right, so Coach, you're talking about if this regime picks the personnel, coaches them up, says goodbye to guys that are just going to be too costly, and they're just trying to basically make it where they can be players in the salary cap world again in free agency. What do you think they're going to do to replace two big players? They have to replace 13 touchdowns and 5 picks. That's a lot.
No, it's a lot. I think that again. I think study in terms of right now they're still working through the free agency. I'm sure they're working like crazy at what they might be able to gain, and as far as the draft is concerned. But I think they've also taken good inventory of the returning players. Frankly, in training camp, Ventrell Miller was competing pretty fiercely with Devin Lloyd for the same position.
Great point.
And so I think, that's a fact. That was a given around here. And so
remember that they had the big OR.
That's exactly right. The big OR. And then I think what they've had at running back, when you see what those two guys can do, and they emerged, I think they got to feel pretty darn good about that. So I think there's and I do too, from what I've seen. So it's not like the cupboard is bare at those positions. The rookie they drafted out of Notre Dame last year flashed in camp too. So again, the coaches know from the classroom to the weight room to the practice field what they've got, what they've seen, and I think there's a pretty good level of confidence. Always looking to get better, but there's a pretty strong level of confidence in what they have returning.
So, Coach, how much does 13-4 make us trustworthy of this? Because if this team was 7-10, we'll be questioning all these decisions that they're making. So the fact that they're winning, they're winning is the reason why they get a pass.
That is the number one telltale of all. That they saw a team that bought in, that played as a team, that found ways to win when years before they found ways not to win. And so all that has progressed to the point where there's a expectation now, a true expectation, an accountability situation, of standards that represent, 13-4 and better.
By the way, I think I've recalibrated on Hendrickson, okay?
Okay. That is so funny. That is beautiful.
It's taken about, 13, 15 minutes, but I think I've recalibrated now. And I'll tell you why.
After Leon said, what did you say, over 3 years? What was it? How many sacks over 3 years?
Over 3 years, he has 39.
Yeah. So and I've been saying this as much as anybody, they have a window right now. They absolutely have a window right now. And your quarterback's playing the best he's ever played, and he's ascending. You've got other players on that roster that are ascending. Now is the time, I think, to make a move like that. You're definitely going to put yourself in a situation where you are mortgaging the future. There's no doubt about it.
Well, and I have stolen Matt Hayes' one of his commandments, which is to protect and affect the quarterback.
Yeah.
And I think our offensive line is, we're looking to make that better. And there certainly will be moves as far as that's concerned. And again, I'm biased, but I've had the privilege to be around and coach Trey Hendrickson, and I know he can affect the quarterback. So we get instant, one of the two commandments that you have that Moses also let you bring down.
Right, he did.
Helps.
Moses and I are tight, by the way.
No, Coach, just like the Ravens, what they did with bringing Max Crosby there, that's a sign of desperation.
Yeah.
When you give up 2 1s to bring him in to help affect you, because the Ravens, their telltale story all season long, but they couldn't close games out, especially in the fourth quarter. So we got a window. You got, like he just said, Trevor's playing like an elite quarterback. All right. Solid offensive line, bring in someone like Trey Hendrickson. We can get people off the field in fourth down situations, fourth quarter situations. Hey, if you got a mortgage, farm, then do it.
Yeah,
3 years.
And again, when you bring these guys aboard, you're bringing not just their play on the field, you're bringing attitude, you're bringing standards. I'll give you a case in point. When they signed our guy yesterday from Arizona and brought him back,
Dennis Gardeck,
brought Dennis back. Yeah. Okay, Dennis's play was, we're talking a little bit different levels here, but he was a very solid football player,
right.
Made a positive impact. Let's go further. He was a four-year captain at Arizona. Okay, so they're bringing in a guy who not only is a productive player or 11 tackle guy on special teams, by the way, too. So his value is not just on defense. So you're getting some bang for your buck, but you're also getting the leadership, the work ethic, the example that you have to have a championship team. Leadership means something.
Okay, now stay right there. If you are looking at a depth chart, Dennis Gardeck's right there competing with Ventrell Miller for that weak side. Is he not?
Yeah, and we want that.
Yeah,
Absolutely is. And we want that. And he was hurt. Remember when early in training camp, he didn't come on the scene till later in training camp, so nobody really kind of knew. You had expectation from what the production he had in Arizona, but absolutely. And I just like the way that guy plays. He's all about ball, and he's going to give you all that he's got right now. And based on his work ethic and his leadership, that's a good deal.
So I see this as this, and I definitely want to get your thoughts on this.
Sure.
I see Devin Lloyd as the only guy in that defense that was a game changer last year. That was a legit. He's going to make a play that's going to change the course of the game.
Okay,
and I think that's what they're missing right now.
Absolutely. No, and I won't argue with that. I agree with that. You need to have. I mean, if again, in a perfect world, we want people that you are aware of and you fear. Who do you fear on that defense?
Right.
If you're the opponent's team, we need guys that people fear that truly are game wreckers. You need more than one. And so, part of the message here is in how we handle things is we need everybody to step up. Last year was good, but we know some guys can do more. All right, and at least we expect that they can do more, and we got to demand that.
Yeah, that's not saying that Trayvon Walker can't be that guy, that 10-sack guy, that Josh Allen can't once again become I'm not going to say 17 and a half, but can't be a 13, 14 sack guy, or for that matter, somebody in the secondary. Like Antonio Johnson is ascending. He could be a guy that legitimately is back there. He becomes a guy back there that makes plays for you all the time.
So let me interject this. When you bring somebody on the club who's had elite production, when he adds to your team, that makes everybody else's eyes get big and ears get big. And it sets the tone. We're rolling, man. So let's step up. I think that's a positive. Competition brings out the best in everyone.
Coach, I was on the team with the Steelers in the 90s, right? When Greg Lloyd was averaging 7 to 8 sacks a season, right? Brought in Kevin Green, okay, who got 15. Greg Lloyd had 13.
Yeah.
Kevin Green, 14. Greg Lloyd had 12. Wow. So I'm saying you bring in a cat like that on the other side of the ball that you see eating the guy on the other side, he wants to eat too.
I totally see all that. But here's my point with this. What do you do with Trayvon Walker then?
Well, you need
you sit him down?
Well, no, hell no.
No.
So he moves inside permanently?
No, hell no. You rotate these guys. You keep them fresh.
All right.
We got. Let me tell you, that's a problem I'd love to have right now. Have those three guys now and fired up and feet on the ground. Are you kidding me? We don't think we can't have enough guys right now.
I know that. I totally understand that.
Let's turn that dial up.
But you as a coach also know guys when guys are out there, they need to get oiled up a little bit. You know?
I'll figure out a way to get that done. That's an easy one there, brother. I promise.
And Coach knows outside linebacker, so he knows. But at the same time, you on 3 downs, maybe even 4th down, you can kick Trayvon inside on 3rd and 4th and have that showcase.
And they did that last year.
Yeah.
And it's not just Trayvon. I might put here's what Anthony has. I take any of those 3 guys and put them on the guys inside. You don't always have to be Trayvon Walker. If you have that kind of luxury that you got 3 guys that can really affect the quarterback, oh, hallelujah. Yeah. I mean, what you can come up with in terms of overloads and so forth, games, unbelievable. And I'm going to dovetail what Leon said about when the outside backer Kevin Green came. I was coaching Cincinnati, and Kevin Green had committed to us. I was sitting there at 11 o'clock in the morning waiting for him to come in. I was going to have the privilege to coach him, and at 11:02, I find out he went to Steelers.
Wow.
And so to this day, my heart is still broken, but I know what he did for you.
Yes, absolutely.
Jesus, Pete, it was unbelievable.
And rest in peace, Kevin Green.
Rest in peace.
Yes.
What a great
player.
What a player. But if you look at the depth chart, and you can just take it with a grain of salt, because not all the work is done, but you've got Trayvon with now no longer DeJuan Smoot backing him up.
Right.
He is a free agent. They may bring him back, but at least right now, B.J. Green moves up into that spot. You go to the other side, Josh Hines-Allen. You got Strigo on that side. Manny Agba didn't work. I thought he would. Didn't do nearly as much. And so you're still thin, Coach.
Yeah. But we are, and so that's why this conversation is not one that's void. I'll also say to you, this draft is, I've heard, I haven't studied it thoroughly yet, but there are more edge guys in this draft than there has been recently. They're saying that may be the strongest, deepest position in this draft. And so that gives me hope. That gives me an optimism for, again, player acquisition as we go through preparation for the draft.
Beautiful. All right, Coach Mark Duffner hanging out with us. He spent many years coaching the linebackers here, many years on the defensive side of the football. We need to get to Lou Holtz, the passing of one of the great figures in coaching in the college game for so many years. We'll get with Coach Duff on that coming up. Your Ultra hookup is 1010 XL throughout the Players Championship, and we would love for you to drop on by while XL Primetime is hanging out just outside of Trucks on 10. They got the Michelob Ultra beer stand set up. They've got the Cutwater Spirits folks giving you samples of all sorts of their cool cocktails, so make sure you check them out.
XL Primetime, driven by Duval Ford.
Leon Cersei here, your lemon pepper guy. You know Wingstop always delivers, and I'm just not talking about the cook-to-order, hand-sauce, and tossed chicken sandwich in your choice of 12 mouth-watering flavors. I'm not talking about their homemade ranch so good that wouldn't blame you if you double-dipped. I'm talking about Wingstop delivers straight to your door. And did you know they open until 1 a.m.? So visit wingstop.com or use the app to get the flavors delivered right to your door, late night, only at Wingstop.
Here's another look behind the microphone at 1010XL with Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser.
You're such a diva. Let me tell you something. If we were a band, you know who you'd be? You'd be Mick Jagger.
Mornings on 1010XL.
Why do we have to fight? At G&H Tires and Service, the G stands for great pricing. The H, well, that means honest service. For over 20 years, Roger and his team have helped Jacksonville drivers stay safe on the road. Need brakes, oil change, AC not blowing cold? Well, how about a super affordable $36 oil change? Affordable brake jobs, AC checks before summer hits, alignments for all these construction roads, and even free check engine light inspections. Locally owned, community driven. G&H Tires and Service on Beach Boulevard.
Of course, Roland Reach Plumbing has awards from Folio Weekly and the Bold City's Best. Now, Roland Reach is also confirmed as the Google Guaranteed Plumbing Service. Because when you do plumbing right, the word gets around. That's Roland Reach Plumbing.
At Cannons of Jacksonville, they know that when you're towing anything, you gotta have products you can rely on. With over 50 years of fabrication expertise, the family at Cannons can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Whether it's a heavy-duty hitch, trailer frame, gooseneck, tow bar, or any other towing accessory, Cannons will provide you with unmatched precision and durability. For all your towing needs, visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
Hicken here. Experience crystal clear vision with the Eye Associates, formerly Bow 9 Associates, Schneider Eye and Wellness Center, and Janet Betchkel, MD, Jacksonville's leader in advanced eye care. From routine eye exams to specialized vision care, their experienced team dedicated to improving and preserving your vision. The same care you've come to trust, now with a new name. To schedule your appointment today, call the Eye Associates, formerly Bowden Eye Associates, Schneider Eye and Wellness Center, and Janet A. Betchkel, MD, at 296-0098.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Attention men and women. If you would like to get your hair back, then you need to listen to some of our clients. John in Orange Park.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Call IHRS now at 904-777-IHRS. Find out how to grow your hair back with a free hair and scalp examination. Mike from Bay Meadows.
I finally found the most experienced company who could restore my hair. Now I have hair where I had none before.
Results guaranteed. Diane from Ponte Vedra.
Now I have what lotions couldn't give me. Thick, beautiful hair.
Find out why you're losing your hair and how to grow your hair back. Call 904-777-IHRS for a limited time free hair and scalp examination.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
Thank you, IHRS.
Thanks, IHRS, for giving me my hair back.
Hurry and receive a free hair and scalp examination and get 2 weeks of laser treatments for free. Call IHRS at 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Hair4me.com.
Frank Frangie here for Coil Fencing. Since 1927, Jacksonville has trusted Coil Fencing to protect what matters. And I trust them too. From tough chain link to your commercial project to sleek aluminum fencing your HOA will love, Coil does it all. Did you know that Coil can also install, service, and maintain those automatic gates that help protect your neighborhood or business? To schedule a complimentary consultation, visit CoilJacks.com. That's COYLE Jacks.com. Coil Fencing, A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
All right, my golden moment is, Trey Hendrickson. He's 30 years old. JJ, he doesn't turn 31 to when? December?
No, he just turned 31.
Oh, he just turned 31. The hell with it. I still bring him in. 2 years, $60 million. Bring him in here, light a fire on this team.
Praise the Lord.
Yeah, absolutely. Someone that you got to game plan against. Absolutely. We got a window. Trevor's playing well. Listen, Josh Allen, if we get him off the field just once in the fourth quarter, we move on. That's unfortunate, and we didn't do it. So you bring in somebody that can pressure, you got a game plan against, and he's going to light a fire on everybody else in the front four.
Yeah, I mean, I think now that you're converting third downs, clearly you're much better converting third downs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now it becomes, can you get off the field on third down?
There you go.
And that's your, whether it's him, whether it's a draft pick, whether you use your first pick on an edge, you got to do something to produce more pressure, right?
Absolutely. No, that is the goal, number one goal that every organization has right now is in terms of player acquisition. Find ways to affect the quarterback. That's the game today.
And if Strigo and Allen, if
Green,
sorry. Yeah. If Strigo and Green are guys that can help you, then it's just like Coach is saying. You light a fire into them too.
Oh yeah,
see what they got.
We've already witnessed.
I'm not going with the law firm right
now.
No,
I'm just saying, like even if Hendrick's going to rise, you're still lighting a fire into those guys.
True.
Well, if we've witnessed anything, just as far as how this has gone, players have been challenged and results have come to the fans. This team has to look at what a BJ Green represents, a Danny Strigo, both making the roster was already challenge number one accepted. Challenge number two is, hey, you're going to have a role here. You're going to have to be ready to go at any moment. And then it went beyond that to, hey, you're in the rotation. And Coach, when you start trusting a guy like those two guys, undrafted free agents, to be in the rotation, that is saying something.
Well, and I think it's a tribute first and foremost to those young men and also to the pro staff in terms of bringing those guys, undrafted players that can make the team and have an impact like they did. Kudos. Great job. Now, I also think, though, that, we're trying to elevate the level of play. And not that these two, Strigo and Green, can't do that, but I would not be sitting back on my heels saying, or on my tail saying, well, we added these guys and we're good enough. No, I think we're trying to get elite, and that's the objective.
Yeah, you want more. You want more.
Oh, big time.
All right, so let's just first set up your relationship with Lou Holtz, who we lost last week. Give us the background to begin with, and then we'll take it.
Well, when I was coming out of college or out of high school, I was recruited by a lot of the ACC schools and a lot of and then Southern Conference schools. And Coach Holtz was the head coach at William & Mary at the time, and Bobby Ross was my recruiting coach, who was another legend. He was the guy that recruited me. Coach Holtz was the head coach, and ultimately I opted to go to William & Mary, and so Coach was in my home, talked to my mom and dad, both Coach Ross, Coach Holtz. So I had the privilege to play for him, to be recruited by him. And the other great thing he offered me, I had an NIL deal from Coach Holtz at the time, and that he offered me a graduate assistantship upon graduation because I had mentioned to him I was thinking I wanted to get into college coaching, and ultimately he did help me with that. I had a chance to go to NC State where he was as a head coach, as a graduate assistant, but I ultimately, after 100 letters I sent out, was lucky enough to get a graduate assistantship to go to Ohio State with Coach Woody Hayes, and Coach Holtz had been on the staff for Coach Hayes back as a defensive back before he went to William & Mary, so there was some connections there. So, I mean, the guy was phenomenal and very instrumental in my career all the way through. I'm the head coach at Holy Cross, and in 1990 I called Coach Holtz and said, could I come up and talk to him more about coaching, staff, culture, things of that nature, less about the X and O's. And I got him on a weekend in June. He was just coming back from communion breakfast in Los Angeles with Roosevelt Greer. He was, and Coach was all over the country. I mean, he was the hottest thing going. This is 1990s at Notre Dame. They're phenomenal. But I came to South Bend. I spent about 8 hours in his house, and I'm asking him all these questions. I got my yellow pad. I'm writing down questions. He's sitting there for 8 hours. He had 5 Diet Cokes, and he ate a box of Triscuits. And he answered everything that I was asking him. It was unbelievable. And at the end of the night, I said, Coach, one last thing I got to ask you tonight. We were going to meet the next morning, but I said, can you teach me that newspaper trick? He immediately changed the subject. He didn't. He didn't even answer me. So, he was a great magician. And the newspaper trick is legendary. Legendary. So, the next day I go into the office. This is on a Sunday. I'd gone to church. Come in there. He's got folders, probably 15 of them, of all the similar to all the with material with all the stuff I talked to him about the night before. We go to lunch at the faculty club with he and his wife. They take me. He's helping me with Defend the Wishbone, who we were playing Army at the time, and he's drawing that up because keep in mind, he was a great defensive coach. He was a secondary coach. When he comes to head football coach, he becomes an offensive guru, veer type guy. I mean, phenomenal. It couldn't have been better to me. And people don't know all the things that this guy did for so many people, and he gave them their attention like you were the number one guy in his life.
Yeah. What a speaker too.
Oh my gosh.
Next level.
Incredible. And the message that he gave way back in 1971 to our team didn't change. I mean, when we walked into William & Mary, I thought I was playing for Ohio State. He elevated your confidence level and made you believe in the environment that he was creating there. And we thought we could beat anybody. Now we played a bunch of good teams. We didn't play Ohio State, but we played Boston College, West Virginia, Wake Forest, North Carolina, Mississippi State. We played a good schedule in those days, but I'm just telling you, he had the ability to elevate people all around him. And I had the other thing I'd say to you, I had the privilege. I went and saw him 3 weeks ago before he died. I went down to called Skip, his son, up and said myself and another one of my teammates, could we come down and see Coach? And he was in hospice care at his home in Lake Nona there in Orlando. And geez, Pete, I had the privilege to sit there with him and thank him for all that he did. And nice. he was as sharp as a tack still. I mean, so even though, the toll of his, he was, under physical duress, but unbelievable.
Did he teach you the trick or no?
No, he still hasn't. No, but I told him, no, let me say no, but to answer that question, I found somebody who did. And I reminded him even 3 weeks ago, I said, Coach, we talked about a lot of things, but I said, you still never, I tried to get you to teach me that trick. And as you know, magicians aren't supposed to give you their deal. And he, he just kind of looked at me there, but I still wasn't going to tell me, but I did figure out how to do it.
You did?
Yeah, I know how to do it.
How do you do it?
I can't tell you.
Come on.
No, I can't.
We may have to do that on YouTube next week.
Okay.
You can do it.
Bring that paper in. Let's see if we can do it. All right, we will be wrapping ours up and handing it off to Helmets and Heels coming up in just a bit. XL Primetime hanging out just outside of Trucks on 10. Michelob Ultra Cutwater Spirits also in there sampling, so make sure you make your way over.
XL Primetime.
Driven by Duval Ford. Live streaming from the XL Digital Studios. Brightened by Harbor Dental Care. Jacksonville's first choice for dental emergencies.
Tired of wrestling with your shower curtain like it's a slip and slide gone wrong? Ditch the drama and say hello to a smooth, stylish glass shower enclosure from Baker Glass. Wago Glass is clean, elegant, and makes your bathroom look huge and brighter. Give your shower a makeover and feel like you're in a spa without the price tag. I'm Mac at Baker Glass. Call me and get ready to love your new shower. Let's make your shower great again. Remember, Baker Glass, no one treats you better.
Get ready for spring turkey season at Green Acres Sporting Goods. Find shotguns trusted in the field from Browning, Beretta, and Benelli. Plus, the newest bows are ready to test shoot from Hoyt and Matthews. For over 55 years, Green Acres Sporting Goods has helped Northeast Florida hunters gear up with confidence. Stop by Green Acres today at the corner of Normandy and Hammond Boulevard or shop online anytime at greenacresporting.com.
Did you know there's local savings sitting in your mailbox right now? Money Pages is packed with real coupons from your favorite local businesses.
Save money at restaurants like Al's Pizza, on pet care at Forever Vets, and on entertainment for the whole family at the Alhambra Theater. Plus, make sure to download the Money Pages app for savings on the go.
Pages in your mailbox right now.
Bueller. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, pal.
Stand back, Jason. I'm gonna
Sneeze? Yeah, I saw that coming.
It's all this spring pollen, Jason. It's outside and it's inside my house, and I just can't stop. I can't stop.
Sneezing? Okay, let me help you with that.
How can you help?
At Bueller Air and Plumbing, we can improve your indoor air quality with air purifiers, UV lights, and filtration systems. Every new system we install includes high-efficiency 4-inch filters that work better and last longer, even if you forget to change them.
Wow, that's amazing. It's amazing.
Life can get pretty dusty sometimes. If you spend all day, you could miss it.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Beat the spring cleaning rush and call our cleaning heroes at Zero Res. Hicken here. This is the perfect time to clean your air ducts as you deal with allergy season, AC efficiency, post-winter, and more. This month, take 15% off dryer vent cleaning and air duct cleaning. Clothes taking longer to dry? Built-up lint restricts airflow and increases fire risk. Professional dryer vent cleaning helps dryers run safer and more efficiently. Call Zero Res today. It's a quick service and a peace of mind. Go online at ZeroResJacksonville.com and tell them you want the 1010XL special.
La playa is Spanish for the beach. If you can't remember that, the word Corona also works. Corona, La playa awaits.
Jacksonville is the flip side of Florida. And inside the flip side, the action never stops. If you're tired of hearing about the best games after the final whistle, don't get left on the sidelines. Whether it's a unique sporting event you've never seen, a weekend with the family, or a winning date night, Visit Jacksonville is your ultimate playbook. Get in the game. Head to visitjacksonville.com/locals or download the Visit Jacks app today and see everything coming in 2026. Jacksonville. Experience the flip side.
Tired of changing out bad sod year after year? Get it done right with Roundtree Sod. Big or small, they have it, and always supplied farm fresh. For a lush, legendary green lawn, call 7414-SOD for a free estimate. 7414-SOD.
This is the home of the Florida Gators. Get your Gators hoops on 1010XL. Brought to you by the personal injury attorneys of Farah and Farah, Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville, and Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors. 1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
All right, we are wrapping up our show today, but not wrapping up the week because we got more coming your way today and then through the rest of Players Championship Week out here at the stadium course at TPC Sawgrass. We will be holed up. Helmets and heels getting ready to roll, which will be fun. And then, of course, the French show after that. Now, you got Rick Ballou, you got Hacker After Dark. They will all be part of your programming, and you might see Ricky B or some of those guys over the weekend out here at the Players. That's for sure. So nothing real major happened while we were on the air as far as more signings are concerned. And we learned a little bit from Coach Duff about Trey Hendrickson, and we're willing to sell whatever we need to get him. But I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah,
He's converted
quite
me.
a bit of cheddar.
Put it that way. He's converted me.
Yeah, it would take quite a bit of cheddar.
We baptized you in the baptismal font.
But I don't know if there's any other big splash that they're capable of. At the very least, you have to give them credit for getting under the cap, doing whatever it is that they need to do. But I think it kind of gets that feel, Coach Duff, that it's just kind of ride with who we got. And then the second wave of free agency, you might get one affordable guy here or there.
And Joe, that's a great position to be in right now. Most of the league would die to be in the seats that we are in right now in terms of where we sit relative to this.
Right.
Yeah, so I think it's great. I mean, I'm impressed with the group they've got back. I'm impressed with the decision making that the powers to be have done to build this team, and I have great confidence moving forward. They'll continue to add to the strength of the team.
Yeah, and like we said, if you look at the depth chart right now, it's still not 100%. It doesn't guarantee any one of these guys are going to be able to step right in and replace somebody else, because that would be crazy to assume. You can't assume Jack Kaiser is going to be the next Foye Oluokun, or Ventrell is going to be the next Devin Lloyd, or Bashal for Etienne. But Big, you got to hope that's basically how it goes down. Next guy that they
What does Matt say about hope?
Yeah, it ain't a plan.
It ain't a plan. It's not a plan.
It ain't a plan. But
it's a huge gamble, bro.
So
it's a huge gamble. You got 6 months.
Yeah.
Season open to find out if these guys listen. They got to be able to fit the bill.
But Joe, you said it earlier.
Yeah.
I mean, it's obvious right now that the building has a lot of confidence in returning players, and what their expectation of them advancing is, and with the coaching staff and the culture in place. I feel good about it.
Because I feel like the second half of what you said, Coach, is as much as in everything is that they like who they've got, but they also like what they can do with who they've got.
There's a great deal of security in what you know. Not what you hope for, as everybody's been talking about, but what we know. They know about these guys. And by the way, what they did with last year's roster, had them move forward, I got a lot of confidence.
I understand what you're saying. I agree. They've earned that. They've earned the capital of what the decisions they're making.
Yeah.
But we all saw that pass rush last year.
Oh, no.
No bueno.
No, well, I'm with you on that, too. And let me say this. We should have that conversation every year, because that's the most critical component right now. I'm with you on that now. No, I trust you now. I think that's you're 100%. Affect the quarterback. Got to do it.
All right, let's go from our linebackers coach to the linebacker, Meathead, right now.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Tommy Mack joins us now as Helmets and Heels gets ready to roll.
That's right.
We're still dreaming and thinking.
Yeah.
We put together a plan to go offer Trey Hendrickson $30 million.
Go get him, man.
Okay.
I've been saying that for years. I've been wanting that guy since he was in New Orleans.
Yeah.
He's just a natural pass rusher, but, I doubt that happens. But you never know. You never know. Listen, if you post one Eric and then you redo Devon, you can get there.
It's not impossible.
And here's the thing. If you're in the market for Max, which you heard they were, if that's true, why wouldn't you be in the market for Trey?
Exactly.
With no draft capital to give up. Just pay the man for a couple years.
Yeah, because the other one you had to basically get ready to pay the big bucks and surrender.
Yeah,
draft
absolutely.
capital. All right, what are you guys going to be cooking on?
Oh, what do you think? A lot of Jag news, of course, being out here at the Players is going to be a lot of fun. But get into that Devin Lloyd. It's pretty interesting. What do you do next? Who's going to be replaced?
Exactly.
Number 0. We'll get into all that and more on Helmets and Heels.
All right, brother, man.
All
Thank
right.
you, man. We appreciate it. Tommy Mack, Lauren, and Taylor, they're all getting ready to go. Big Sirs, I think, is getting ready for his limousine service out of the Trucks on 10 area. Big Sirs. By the way, we're going to have to dial up the ponytail to get him to come get you.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. I ain't got number
What do you
time.
think of Tom's
So
ponytail?
Tom,
What do you think of it?
Tom retired, and he said, "You know what? I'm letting the gray go." He has fashioned this just
ponytail,
awesome coif gray that he rubber bands every single day.
I'm a little jealous.
Yeah, and I didn't think he was going to get away with it on the grounds here at TPC, but he's letting it flow and go. He's the Dennis Gardeck of volunteers over there at the media center. All right, we had a good time, Coach Duff. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Oh, pleasure. Really enjoyed being with you.
We appreciate it as always. We are done. Don't forget Michelob Ultra, your ultra spot right here on the radio. It's XLP, and happy to have them over here at Trucks on 10. Michelob serving beer all over the place and giving you, as we go, JJ, a couple more callers getting a chance to win tickets to the Michelob Ultra deck. 641-1010. Make sure you dial up JJ right now.
XL Primetime, driven by Big Number 1 Duval Ford, the number 1 place to buy your next vehicle. From the first play ball to the final, your home for play-by-play is 1010XL.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. I'm celebrating an anniversary. 2 years ago, hit my goal weight.